everyone. I'm Danielle with Trinity Readings. We are doing the Virgo Weekly Tarotscope. Keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you find that the reading doesn't resonate, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus placements because sometimes those will resonate more. And I do offer personal readings. You can get all that information in the description box. All right. Catching everything on fire. Alright, let's see what messages are wanting to come through for you. I feel like you need to, I want to say silence that inner critic, but I feel like in order to silence your inner critic, you need to like ask where it's coming from. Like, whose voice is that inner critic? Like, it's not even coming from you. It's coming from how you were raised, or it's like you're too hard on yourself. But it's like, I want to say it's like the person that kind of started that inner critic within you didn't even have a leg to stand on. They should have been critical of themselves, but instead they were critical of you. You were in some sort of situation at some point in your life where no matter what you did, it did not make the situation any better. The person did not change. The person was never satisfied. And you have taken that critic on with you moving forward. But that, in all honesty, had nothing to do with you. It's not that you were doing anything wrong. It's that the situation just wasn't going to change. That person did not want to change. That person did not want to acknowledge their own faults or their own responsibilities. Whoever this inner critic came from, but it did not come from the situation that you're dealing with now. Your desire to continuously try to fix yourself, or being so hard on yourself, even if that inner critic is like being directed at other people, because sometimes we do that too, right? Acknowledge where that's coming from. Acknowledge where that started, and look at the person or the situation that kind of brought that energy into you. Like, re-look at that situation or that person, because it's going to change the way you see yourself moving forward. Oh yeah. in terms of the people that you deal with, in terms of people that you devote yourself to, in terms of people that you sacrifice yourself for, do those people hold the same respect that you do? Do those people hold the same integrity that you do? It's like you need to make sure you're standing by and supporting people and connecting with people who hold the same integrity that you do. There's like a family belief system, or a belief system that you've been raised to believe within your religious beliefs and I feel like you just need to re-examine. You know, I'm not speaking on all, religions, obviously, but I know that I grew up Catholic, and the, the biggest thing that was taught, or the biggest thing I remember being taught, was that when you're born, you're a sinner, and you have to, fight to prove that you're worthy, right? And I always had the impression that becoming a spiritual person, or being a spiritual person, or believing in God, or devoting your life to Jesus, or whatever, meant that you were going to have to sacrifice, because you were placed here you were already a sinner when you came into this world because of what everybody had done before you. And your job was to show that no matter what was being thrown at you, no matter what mess that you were in, that if you were faithful and humble and put up with all the bullshit, that when you died you would go to heaven, right? And I always remember thinking, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, and so I feel like there a lot of that, depending on how you feel about yourself in your life, a lot of that makes you feel like you're not a worthy person, that suffering and dealing with situations that are less than desirable is going to show your worth more than, or it's going to add more character to your life than actually pursuing things that feel good to you, and showing people that you're sacrificing everything to make them happy is what is going to give you that blessing at the end of the day. And I feel like there's something in that belief system, or something in what you've been kind of raised to believe. And I don't feel like it's direct, it's what was taught to you directly. I feel like it was an underlying theme in things that you've learned. And it's really important to kind of dig deep and examine that a little bit more, especially when it comes to the people that you're standing next to, the people that you're supporting, the people that you're fighting for, the people that you're willing to go to battle for, do they hold the same integrity that you hold? And at the same time, do you value and respect what you're fighting for? Or are you fighting for this because this is how you feel it's supposed to be? Let's see what else wants to come up for you. The people that you're connected to right now are the exact people that you need to be connected to. And that's not to say that this is your soulmate, your forever person. That's not to say anything like that. And I kind of feel like, get out of that even mind space altogether. Don't look at the permanence of connections, right? Don't look at where you feel any kind of relationship or connection is going to go. Every person that you are connected to right now is part of your soul tribe and part of your soul family, but not in the aspect of being a forever person that is always going to love you and be with you forever. Not in that aspect. In order to show you things within yourself, in order to help you grow, in order to help you evolve as a person. Every relationship is meant to show us something about ourselves. Every relationship is meant to help us evolve. And this has kind of been a theme in all the readings. How much are you adjusting yourself, adjusting your values in order to fit yourself into a relationship with another person? Are you automatically stepping into relationships, being flexible with people that are very set in their ways? Or the flip side of that, do you have a specific vision on what you believe the relationship is supposed to be, and how flexible are you in that aspect? Because being flexible is important, but you should never be too flexible that you're not acknowledging your values. I do feel for a lot of you, for most of you, you've made some significant shifts within yourself that have connected you to different people, or you're seeing something different in the people that you're connecting to. You're seeing more value in your relationships. You're on the right path with this. You're on the right path moving forward. But there's also like a kind of like warning to be mindful of not allowing the same negative, like similar cycles to repeat from the past. I also feel like for some of you, like if somebody has come back around for a second chance with you, I do feel that there is an opening for this to get into a good space, to get into a better path. But I also feel like it's important to recognize the patterns from the past and not dwell on them and not anticipate the bad things happening again, but look at it in the sense of, okay, what have I learned from this? Handling those cycles differently, right? Being willing to deal with some uncomfortableness to get yourself where you need to be with this. There's certain things that, again, there's things that you should be flexible with. There's times that you should be more flexible with your energy, especially when you're in a relationship with another person. But there's also things that you need to have things that are valuable to you and important to you, and you need to be able to hold on to certain things that you don't have to be flexible with. And I feel like that's kind of what is being reflected to you this week. Rebalancing. There's two different truths that you're dealing with here. There's the truth that's being seen on the surface, and there's a truth that's going on behind the scenes that's being felt. And those two truths need to be integrated together. And by integrating those two truths together, you'll manifest what you want. But the truth is not just in what is being perceived and seen. It's also in what's being felt. And the truth lies somewhere in between the both of those. And in order to really acknowledge that it's kind of like, look at what has been avoided or what you feel has been avoided or ignored. And if that's what you're feeling, then acknowledge your feelings. If that's communication, if that's outward communication, then speak on what it is that you feel that you need to speak on. Both truths need to be brought out in the open and integrated in order to get where you need to be. Yeah, this energy has been coming up a lot. I think it's this Mercury retrograde. You need to take a closer look at what you value. You need to take a closer look at what is important to you. You need to take a closer look at the value of what is being offered to you, as well as the value of what you are offering within your communication. If you're just communicating truth with no feeling behind it, with no passion behind it, then it's difficult for people to accept that truth, right? If I were just to speak monotone this whole time, it'd be more difficult for you to receive the message, right? But if I'm actually feeling and speaking with feelings, it's easier for you to interpret what I'm saying, right? At the same time, if you're putting boundaries up, if you're speaking to somebody, hey, I'm putting up boundaries, I'm doing this, I expect this, but at the same time you're not following through by accepting, by accepting that, right? If you're saying it but not living it, then it's not making any difference, right? The feeling of it has to match the the words, right? And that's what you have to be speaking on, what holds value to you. You have to be accepting what is valuable to you, and you have to be offering what is valuable. But it's almost like you hold back on sharing a certain aspect or showing a certain aspect because it's like, I'll show you yours when you show you mine. Wait, did I say that right? I'll show you mine when you show me yours. Is that how you say it? Or you're holding back speaking on something because you don't feel that the other person values it. You don't feel like the other person values the same thing as you. And so if that's the case, then why are you wasting your time? If the person doesn't value the same thing as you, you're not going to be able to get them to see your value. At the same time, you shouldn't be pushing that down either, right? You have the Ten of Swords twice. Okay. You've thought this situation to death. You've felt betrayed enough. The logical aspect of it has been overdone. The communication has been overdone. You've taken in enough knowledge. It's not about the logic of it. It's not about the truth that is being spoken. It's not about what's being said. It's not about what's being seen. It's about what's being felt too, and the value behind that. If there is no value behind it, then move towards what holds value. Move towards the entirety of what it is that you feel is important to you. It's like you're holding back making some sort of decision, looking for the truth, looking to be acknowledged, looking to see if the other person's going to match your energy. But what you're holding back on, holding back in all honesty, is what is preventing you from seeing the truth or getting the truth. And I think it's like you're feeling so much in terms of this situation. You're wanting so much to see success in this. You're wanting so much to have something taken care of. Again, it's like you're blocking it without intending to block it. It's about focusing on what holds value to you, on what you are trying to build, on what you are trying to create. You know, for some of you, it may be that you've been trying to make a relationship work for a very, very long time because you believe that this is your person, this is your soulmate, this is your twin flame. I've been told over and over and over again, this person is my twin flame. I know that this is the truth because everybody's telling me this is the truth. I get signs all day long that this is the truth. But what do you feel? Like, what do you feel? If this is something you've been fighting for a long time, yeah, it might be what's being said, but do you still feel value for this? Do you still feel that this is giving you what you want? It's like the truth is somewhere in between what is being spoken and seen and logical and what is being felt within you. And what holds value to you. And are you receiving what is valuable to you? And are you able to give what you feel is value? All of those things need to be in alignment. Because you have the new beginning, you have that relationship, you have that love that you're looking for, but you have to move out of this cycle that you're in order to see the value that you need to see. All right, have a good week. Bye-bye.